Hello, grade eights. Hope you're enjoying school. I'm probably in Mexico right now on the beach, so don't feel too bad or too sorry for yourselves, though. My eye probably still stings from Troy. So just before you do the last assignment, the last section of this unit, I just wanted to go over a couple examples. You've learned everything you need to know now. But I just wanted to, go over a couple, and then you'll get on the assignment. So this is from the textbook. If you want to follow along, you can go to page 106. So you can imagine that we have some land over here. This space is land. And there's a boat that starts at this starting point. And it's going to move, it's going to travel along, and it's going to go 10 kilometers. That'd be west, so let's just say this is 10 kilometers. And then it starts traveling north until it is 25 kilometers away from its starting point. So the direct line from where it started to where it currently is 25 kilometers. And it first went 10 kilometers west. So how far north did it go? So really what we're looking at here is a right-angled triangle. This would be a 90-degree angle right here. And so we can use the Pythagorean theorem to solve for this missing point. Now the Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. So we're going to figure out what numbers are which, and then we're just going to plug them in. So c squared is always the hypotenuse. Here, the hypotenuse is opposite the 90-degree angle. It is also the longest side. So this is our hypotenuse. This would be c, and then we can just call the other legs, the other two sides, a or b, whichever one we want. So we can call this a, we can call this b. And now we're going to solve for what a is in our equation. So we can take our numbers and we can put them in. So then we're going to write a squared, we don't know what that is, plus, well, b is 10 kilometers, so it would be plus 10 squared is equal to c, which is 25, so 25 squared. And now we can square b and c. So b squared, 10 squared is 100. So we can now write a squared plus 100 is equal to 25 squared. And 25 squared is equal to 625. So we know that something plus 100 is equal to 625. Well, you can probably do this in your head, but if we're going to use the proper steps, we would say, well, on the left side, we could minus 100. And whenever we do the left side, we have to do the right side of the equation. So we'd minus 100 here. So our new equation would be a squared plus 0, 100 minus 100, so those cancel out. So we get a squared is equal to 625 minus 100, which is 525. Now this is what a squared is. So we have to find out just what a is, so then we then take the square root of that. So the square root of 525, I'll enter that into my calculator. Square root of 525 is equal to 22.91. So a then is equal to 22.91 kilometers. Now we can look at our picture here, and if a is 22.91, does that make sense? Well, it cannot be larger than c. A cannot be larger than c, and it isn't. It's 22. The hypotenuse is 25, so it's still the largest number. Our number shouldn't be bigger than that. And it also isn't smaller than 10. And based on our diagram here, it should be larger than 10. So that number makes sense. So we probably did it right. And that's how far away that ship, or that's how far this little ship here went north. It's just one more example, and then you can do the assignment. So you can imagine we're looking down at the corner of a room. Let's say you built a shelving unit, and you're trying to fit into the corner, but it's just not quite fitting. Now you're not sure if the shelf that you built is not square, or maybe actually the walls in your house aren't square. They're not 90 degrees to each other, which happens pretty often. So the question is this angle actually 90 degrees? Is this corner of your house actually 90 degrees? So one way you could figure that out is you could measure, and you could really use whatever measurements you want. But here in example 2 on page 108, so if you want to follow along, it says, Danelle is trying to install a corner shelf in her bedroom. Since the shelf does not fit properly, she thinks the two walls in her bedroom do not meet at a right angle. She measures a length of 30 centimeters along the base of each wall away from the corner. Then she measures the hypotenuse to be 41 centimeters. So do the walls meet at a right angle? So if we were to measure here and we were to say that this was 30 centimeters, and if this was 30 centimeters, and if the measurement connecting the two, let me get a straight line going. The measurement connecting the two, this obviously doesn't look correct, but if this was 41 centimeters, is this a right angled triangle? Well, to test it out, all we have to do is just say, well, if it is, then 41 centimeters is C, because it's our hypotenuse, and this is A and B. So does A squared plus B squared equal C squared? So we can just take our numbers and enter them in. Well, if A squared plus B squared equals C squared, then 30 squared plus 30 squared should equal 41 squared. Now 30 squared is 900 plus 900, and 41 squared is equal to 1,681. So does 900 plus 900 equal 1,681? Well, 900 plus 900 is 1,800, which does not equal 1,681. And so is this a right angled triangle? No, it's not, or not. It is not a right angled triangle. Not right angle. So now Danelle knows that the corner of her room, actually the two walls don't meet at 90 degrees. So obviously some carpenter somewhere didn't do a very good job in that house. Anyway, so that's it. You're just continuing working with the Pythagorean theorem. I might as well give you your assignment now, although your sub could as well. You will be working on, let me see, page 110 to 111, numbers 4 through 12 even. So just the even numbers, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So not very many, but you have to make sure you show all of your work. So that can include drawings. Whatever you type into your calculator you should write down. So make sure it's written down. Otherwise, I'm going to make you redo it in ET when I come back. Otherwise, hope you guys have a good long weekend. I'm going to enjoy my time at the beach. If you have questions, save them. You can save them when I get back. Ask yourself, though, she might be able to help. See you later.